Hello, Swivelheads. This is Greg Allison in the wee hours of Monday morning on the 16th of January 23. Time on deck is 00:5500 hours Central Daylight Time, Central Standard Time. Always get a little bit off on us. Guys, we got a lot going on in the world of war, and Russia's come back to take a score. Like it or not, they have been hammering Ukraine here in the past few days as they're gearing up for a new offensive. I think each side is gearing up for a new offensive. We'll see how that plays out, and we'll talk about this. I'm not picking sides in this discussion. Y'all can hammer it out with each other all you want. I'm just telling you what's going down. But more than that, we're going to talk about some considerations for bug out. A lot of you guys are all set to bug out, but where are you going to bug out to? We're going to talk about that. So, pardon the late start, but I've been trying to harvest worms a day and do a bunch of other things, and I am a busy guy, so don't expect I've got all day to do these things. It takes hours to prep for this kind of a video. So I am going to refresh over here and watch the chat room. We are live, so I'm going to try to see who's in the room at this extreme late hour. And so who the night owls are, and there we are. We got the usual suspects, the night owl. Zenjamin, Cindy, Robert Preston, New Days, Granny, Alan Lyon, AG, Captain Trips. Okay, guys. Jesse Mills from Northeast Arizona. Jason. All right. Annette, San Francisco. Yeah, it's not so late in San Francisco. For New Days is it's very late. She's an hour behind me. I'm going to try not to run so late tonight because I got to get up early in the morning. I got some worm running to catch up on. Martin Electromag. There's a cool name, Electromag. All right, guys. So let's cook on here. Let's do a share screen. I'm going to talk about some news. Hopefully it's going to make sense. Guys, get a load of this stuff. Get a load of this. This is from a Greek. I'm going to have to probably shrink this a little bit just so I can see what's on the screen here. Oh, Zoom fights me. The app that I'm trying to run this video thing on covers up all the tabs I've got to control where I switch from. I can't see diddle. Can't even control it unless I make the screen a little down this way. All right, sorry about that, guys. Anyway, here we are. Look at this. Oh, I got it. Get rid of that. Russia hits Kyiv with hetero unknown weapon. The largest thermal power plants are on fire. 3 waves of attacks with 80 missiles. And this is actually now a couple days ago. And I'll show you another picture view of that in a moment. Final phase of the Russian operation in Bakhmut has begun. Russian and American manhunt in the city. What is this? A Russian and American manhunt in the city. Zelensky sent 25,000 troops. Anyway, blitzkrieg operation by Russian paratroopers that led to a massacre of Ukrainians in Soledar. How they took the town in one night. Rapid Russian advances to Seversk. Yeah, this is just going on and on. This is actually a Greek newsletter. This is War News 24/7. This is a Greek paper. If this is under their main issues and not all the stuff they're having going on with Turkey, it's a little surprising because Turkey is the main affront to Greece. How you doing, Connie Ling? It's good to see you. Big hugs for you. Let's see. All right. So this is kind of an interesting perspective. Hang on. Let's go back. Let's go back one. We'll click on one. Let's just look at this. What? Uh-oh. It's all Greek to me. Greek fire. Oh, this is a huge building with a roof caved in, been hit by some missile. And what they think this is either Iskander missiles, which is not new, or they're suspecting this was actually an Iranian ballistic missile. It was among the missiles that struck into, and it may be launched from, they actually think it was launched from Belarus. It struck into the Ukraine, into Kyiv. So this is a major escalation by Russia. NATO is escalating things by sending Leopard tanks from Poland, and we got France stepping up and sending more armaments. We're going to be sending more stuff, guys. It's definitely getting the hackles up on the Russian side. If we, this whole idea that we were crossing a bunch of red lines, and maybe they are too. I don't know. Russian mercenaries, human wave tactics. This is what I talked about. I said that Russians have got the manpower. You know, I mentioned this many times. Russians have the manpower. And with the Wagner group, they're really pushing those guys in as cannon fodder. And it's apparently working for them now to some degree. So to start pure insanity. You're right, New. Wall war is horrible. 27 is my check in there. Hey, John Spare, how you doing? Broken fish, 37 degrees, light rain. Oh, okay. It's about like that here. No rain, but it's cool. When do you sleep? I don't, Mr. Bluestone. I'll sleep when I'm dead. If I don't get old sleep, I might be sooner rather than later. I got to watch it. Hey, I'm a young 62. Yeah, I mentioned this to you before too, and some of the stuff has, you know, just been coming out in articles, just reinforcing what I said. I said Russia switches to a wartime economy, and it's an all-out war. Russia's committed to spending a third of their budget on war. A third, maybe it's a third of their GNP. Yeah, it's a really sad thing to see such emphasis on war. And here's part of what I'm talking about. Granny hit the like. Thank you there, Granny, for asking people to hit the like button. We got 68 in the room and only 28, 29 thumbs up. Not even half of you gave us the thumbs up. Yeah, if you don't like what you're seeing, worth giving a thumbs up, tell us in the chat room what your issue is. We have people coming in. It's got issues. This is a Russian newspaper here, TASS or website. This is Russian news agencies. It says so. And it really is. That's what TASS is. So AG, try some Mary Jane and you'll sleep real quick. I can't do that. It's illegal. Well, in my job, I would be fired. I work I work at NASA, guys. I can't do that. They drug test. My company drug tests randomly all the time. Anyway, U.S. NATO engaged in proxy warfare against Russia and Ukraine. This is coming from a Croatian leader, Milanovic. And guys, this isn't a Russian news agency. So, you know, this is the view that the Russians have. And that's a dangerous view, especially if it turns south on Russia. This is where some people are concerned with escalation. Well, we know some people say, oh, it'll never escalate. Russians are going to tuck their tails and run. They're already running as hard as they can go. Well, right now, it looks like they're running toward Kyiv. So I don't know, guys. With all this stuff going on, you better get ready. I'd say prepare. Go to prepwithgreg.com, guys. Look at the sale here. Wow. $200 off that. Wait, that's more than $200. Why don't you say two? That don't equal what's below. I saw the price below. They didn't upgrade this. That's nearly $300. Wow, guys, check that out. $597 now for a 3-month supply. That's the cheapest I've seen it. Geez, that is amazing, guys. That is amazing. And you can get $100 off of a 4-week supply. Those are great prices, people. That's all I can say. Y'all need to look at this and give it a thought. Long-term food storage. All right, guys. Yes, prepwithgreg.com. Russia's preparing for a massive bombardment of Ukraine. Well, they've already started with those rocket attacks. Guys, you need to consider bugging out, where you'd bug out to if you're going to bug out. Some people, you know, you live in cities. Some of you live in apartments. Some of you live in high population areas, like down here in Los Angeles. Los Angeles is a basin with almost 20 million people down in here, and you're surrounded by mountains and ocean. If you have a major earthquake and all the highways, interstates break down, all the bridges and overpasses are going to block your way out. You're going to be trapped in here in a bowl of cannibals. Don't be in a bowl of cannibals. At least if you're living on the edge, maybe in Pasadena, you can hike over the mountains and run for it. Like my friends, the Dervases, I actually brought that up with them in conversation. I said, you know, guys, you're not in a good spot. San Diego might be a little better, but not a whole lot. Any city's going to be a bad place to be in a bad situation. But the cool thing is, this is where we're at here. Let me see if I can scroll up a little bit. You know, I was searching public lands interpretive association. If you search, just do a Google search, public lands, and your state or your county, mainly they'll probably use here in the United States, especially to use your state. And you will find different reservations. Like here, land status is talking about camping, skiing, hiking, horseback riding, scenic drives, wildlife viewing, off-highway vehicles, fishing. I guess that means where you can stay. Visitor center, cultural sites, and hunting. Well, you want hunting, hiking, fishing. If you're in a survival mode, all those are good to know. And the best thing to know, one of the best things to know, if you're in an area where there's huge national parks and not so many people, you might be better off. Now, if you're, say, oh, I didn't mean to scroll in that much. If you're, say, around the city of Phoenix and Arizona, why is it scrolling now? I'm not trying to scroll in. I'm trying to move the page every time I do it, scrolling in. All right. If you're in the area of Phoenix, that is a huge metropolitan area, but it's got several mountain ranges. People are not going to get out of Phoenix too well going north. Now, what you're going to find, though, is there's these huge national parks. Now, the Indian reservations, yeah, well, you have to deal with the Indians for that, especially if you're dealing with Apaches. Yeah, treat them with some respect. But there's a Gila National Forest here. Here, the Tonto National Forest, Stillgraves Forest, Coconina National Forest, Prescott National Forest, and get up here. Of course, you're not going to do a lot of hunting in the Grand Canyon, but some states are just loaded with national forests. That's one of the reasons I was kind of liking the idea of snowflake up here. Maybe Jesse actually is a forest ranger. He watches these. Have you ever been to Mexico? I have driven right by the border of Mexico many times, zip, zip, zip right through El Paso, but no, I've not been over into the country of Mexico. I've had invitations to go to Mexico, but I was concerned that the cartels would kidnap me because they say, oh, he's an engineer. He's got to be rich. Well, hold him for ransom. Ain't nobody going to pay ransom for me. I thought I'd be in trouble. Yeah, they think I'm rich. They hold me for ransom. And then people would just laugh. And then, you know, I'd be in a pit somewhere. Some happy cats. What's this? John Happy Cats. Anyway, your best spot's a public cave. There you go. Cave might be a really good spot. And we got some caves around, guys. I don't know, maybe you could go into Mexico, you know, run south of the border instead of north. That would be a surprise, right? Why is all that so washed out there? Yeah, you can zoom in on this stuff and you get better resolution of what's available. So apparently you can camp in these wilderness areas. Primitive camping may be allowed. It's my favorite way to do it, where you backpack in, not going to a tent city or Grant. So you'll find a lot of stuff like that in these kind of maps, guys. Now this is more oriented to the West Coast because I scanned out California. Let's see, there is national forest around here, Talladega. You got Chattahoochee, Atala. But you know, they don't color them and show them the detail this map does. But that's why I say search on your own state. And I've actually done it. Oh gosh, I've actually done this on Alabama. Oh, I wish it quit that every time I try to scroll. All right, we're going to go over here and look for. This is my area. Search Alabama Department of Conservation and National Resources. See, there is some private type preserves here, like this James D. Martin Skyline Wildlife Preserve. This is some Tennessee Valley Authority land. I suppose this is probably what this is. Mud Creek Management Area. I think that belongs to Tennessee Valley. Or maybe it ain't Tennessee Valley. Let's see if I can get this to show up. Some of these maps are interactive. Now, if you click on it, instead of zooming in, I wished it would quit zooming in and just tell me what I'm looking at here. There we go. Coon Gulf Glosson Track. Okay, Jackson County. Yeah, I don't know who that belongs to. You'd have to, yeah, you got to go in and click on these to find out the details about them. Well, that's pretty. Look at that creek. Now, that'd be a nice place to spend some time. Boy, that looks like the property I was hiking on back it's just like the property I was hiking on back in the spring. Me and some friends were contemplating going in together and buying some property. This property here is not for sale. This is under, okay, this is the Forever Wild Land Trust. Okay, I see what this is. Yeah. Close that. Now, let's see what this one is. Oh, it's all part of the coon track. Okay. Just showing the different tracks of it. So you'll find land. Some of it's national parks, some of it's state parks. There's different regulations on all of it. Why I'm showing you this is you do not want to go to private lands for this kind of stuff. You do not want to go to private land to seek a place to, what's this? So you want to show up. Lake Guntersville State Park. Okay, that's a state park. All right, here's Albertville and here's Boaz, most likely. And let's see, yeah. I say right around here is where I grew up. See how fast it takes me to zoom in on where I grew up. See how good I am here. Ah, no wonder I couldn't see it. It was off the map. Right there, there's where I grew up. It's off the map. That's why I didn't see it. Right here. That's probably the remnants of the old cabin I built. That's probably the roof. Showing y'all that in the video or went down there once upon a time a few months ago. Anyway, yeah, there's the counties. There's Marshall County, Alabama, Madison County. There's a Sipsey Wilderness area as part of this park here. Yeah, there's a lot of places. So, you know, some places have got more than others. Alabama don't have, it's got some, but it's not like some other states. But if you go on private property, expect to be in a lot of trouble. Now, Jackson County is one of the most rural counties. Unfortunately, it's really close to these nuclear power plants up here in Chattanooga area. That's the problem with that. There's a lot of nuclear power plants in this area. That's Chattanooga right here. And all up in here is a bunch of nuclear power plants. So that's a problem. This is one of our best wilderness areas, but the next best one in North Alabama is over here on this side of the state. All this area is pretty good. And in fact, I think down here is probably in North Alabama, your safest areas in terms of radiation. But, you know, just go to your own state and search on public land. That's all you got to do. Search on public lands, type your state in a browser and see what comes up. That's something to consider, guys. If you got a bug out, here's one of those wilderness areas here in Alabama. This is at James D. Martin Skyline Management Area. Find a lot of details about these, what you got to know. Sometimes there's a lot of resources on this kind of stuff. Anyway, just trying to give you a resource, guys. Hey, then again, if you're gardening, do consider buy worms. You better get them now. I might have to slow my worm cells down. Maybe you stop them for a while. I am seeing I got some issues. I don't know what they are right now. I don't know if my worms just dove down because it was cold, or if suddenly I've lost a bunch. I hope that's not the case, because I've had worms for 2 years. Just now was setting up to resume sales, and this is not good. I don't know. I got to do some investigation of what's going on. I'm shipping worms Tuesday, but I don't know how much reserve I got. Slick Rick, what makes private is when it's lawless. You know what? Private land, you know, whether the law is there or not, there's, you know, private people in these areas carry bang bangs. You know, we got our nugs. So if you want to be crossing on that kind of land, you're taking a risk. Problem though with a lot of the national parks is everybody in the cities is going to be pouring into national parks, especially those that are close to cities. You don't want to go to those national parks because they're going to kill all the big game in about 3 days, and then the only thing left to hunt is long port. As I always tell you, don't be the long port. Port Angeles, Washington State is a beautiful place. Okay. Well, before I can get you far. Yeah, that's right. Especially out in the desert. All right, guys. I'll tell you what I want to do. I want to move this over. Let's instead of covering this, let's do this over in one of my other channels. Guys, if you're not subscribed, I got Serenity Soothing Sounds, in case we get you too unsoothed here, talking about things to come. Product Papas. I was wanting to go to the flea market yesterday, and I couldn't do it. I had too much going on. I was trying to marshal my guys to run some worms. I was having a problem getting my workers together. Nature's Strange this year, raking leaves. It used to be done in November. Oh, still falling. It's your little GMC. All right, guys. We may go into the Galactic Gregs tonight. But here's my Rumble channel, our Rumble Swivel Head News. These 2 videos are on YouTube, but these are not. And there'll be other videos I'll put on here that will not be on YouTube, because I can cover things here that I can't talk on YouTube. This is my YouTube Swivel Head News. We're going to go here next, and we're about to do it right now in just a minute. So back in the 80s, there was a ferry that you could take right into Victoria, British Columbia. Well, that's cool. Buy in would be the best. Yeah, bug in would be best. I agree. Typically, that's what I advocate, bug in. Some people are not in the places where they can bug in. Hey, Anton, how you doing? Some places are not a good place to bug in. So this is where we're going. We're going right here in just a couple minutes. Anybody want to share the, maybe I can do it, share this URL. Here we go. Let's see, I think I can do that. Can't even type. Trying to type it here. All right, New Days beat me to it. Very good. I think that, yeah, there it is. Thank you there, New Days. It takes me a little bit to do it. You're faster than me. All righty, folks. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to Swivel Head News. I'm not standing here for just a few minutes, and we're not going to be there long either. And then we might go over to Galactic Gregs for a little bit. You know, it's late. I got to get in bed. A lot of people disappear in national parks. That's true, Slick, and it's really strange. Really strange. 43 years. There you go. Good to see that snow. You can see footprints. That's true about snow. That's the good thing. Yeah, I did it. I did a few. Lee must be asleep. Well, when Lee's not been on, what was Lee still sick? He's been sick. Hope he got better. Anyway, so I need to check out my videos here that I uploaded. my swivel head channel here. Camo underwear, lots of Washington State people in here. That's true. It's because this is a late video. West Coast. Not a whole lot from the East Coast, but New Days is in Maine. Maine. She's got back from Boston, guys. When you pray tonight, give her a prayer. Tom, how you doing? When you hit 60, your best bet's to stay put and you can't go no more. Tom, hey, I hear you, buddy. I resemble that remark. But, you know, hey, you do what you got to do. Oh, by the way, yeah, talking about bugging out, like the video. Well, thank you, Slick. Appreciate it. You ever give me a thumbs up? I only got 69 thumbs up, 93 in the room. Shadow Seeks Justice. You can drop the link to your Rumble channel. Oh, can you? Hey, would you put the Rumble channel link in here, New Days? Not, I'll look for it here in a minute. So just real quick, let's stop the share. Bada bing, bada bang. Hello. Now, real quick, if you do bug out, you know, bug out bags are nice. You know, to have enough equipment to carry in a bug out bag is tough. A bug out bag shouldn't be no more than 10% of your weight. You know, I've gone camping backpacking with an 80-pound pack. And that ain't easy. I'm gonna tell you, back then I used to be a runner. I used to do a lot of running. And I tell you what, that was not an easy chore carrying an 80-pound pack on the Appalachian Trail. Done it. But that was 100 pounds ago, you might say. And back, like I said, back then I was runner and had great knees and ankles and stuff that I don't have so good anymore. So, you know, 10% of my weight today would be 25 pounds. I just gained some weight since Christmas. I went off my diet. I've actually gained about 12 pounds. But, you know, ideally, even 5% of your weight. If you really want to be mobile, you go for 5% of your weight. Well, you know, but that, how do you handle change? You know, if you're leaving everything behind, you have to be really creative because you're going to have to deal with change in weather, change in a lot of stuff. And you can't just carry so many sets of clothes and all. You've got to pack light. So how do you do it? I recommend two approaches. One is have a bug out vehicle that you can sleep in if at all possible. You know, if it's a van, that's good. If you got an RV, that might be good. I mean, you definitely sleep in an RV. That's a way to move somewhat. You might be more of a target in an RV because you might not be as stealthy. A van, you might could be stealthier in. But, you know, so there's a lot of questions about that. You know, when you're bugging out what your choice is, you got to figure out what's best for you. I got a bus and I got a travel trailer and I got several big vans I could go in. So I got some choices to select from in a bug out situation along those lines. And I got a place to bug out too, if I can get there from here. I got 40 acres, but I don't know if I can get there from here in a really bad time. And maybe if I had an airplane, maybe, but you know, hopefully one of these days I could be a slick hit it right there. Have barrels pre-buried. Amen. That's what I was going to tell you, guys. Set up caches, barrels, buckets. You know, there's these military containers. I got two in the back. I probably need to show those on the video. That they lock down or for carrying equipment and they're hermetically sealed. Those would be great to bury stuff in, guys. Anything that's hermetically sealed. And then it goes even with buckets like these here. These come sealed. These come sealed. And even when you open them, you know, that's a pop top and it's still tight. And good place to store things, guys. So, you know, this is, you know, from my Patriot Supply. If you want this stuff, you got this 2 weeks worth of food right here. Go to prepwithgreg.com again if you want that kind of stuff. But have some kind of vehicle if you're going to do the bug out. If I got time, I really want to invent a vehicle just for bugging out. What I think would be the ultimate bug out vehicle on fixed income, so I can't bug out. Well, see, that's just it. Anton, how old are you, Anton? Fixed vehicles and fixed income, yeah, it makes it tough. You can bug out, but you may be just whatever it goes on your back. I mean, I did a travel bug out bag video about 2 years ago when I was in Arizona. I showed you all my bag I had when I was out there in Snowflake. Hey, Perry, how you doing? We got Perry here from Sweden. All right. So My dogs are telepathic. That's good to have. 34 and disabled. Bless your heart, Anton. Are you disabled from war? Anyway, yes, all dogs are. Yeah, that's true. Crossing the Mississippi River is a major choke point. Oh, yeah, if we have an earthquake and those bridges fall down, like the Madrid fault, or war, those bridges will be targets in a strategic war. They could be a target. You may not be able to cross the Mississippi River unless you can swim or build a raft. Greg, after Thanksgiving, after Christmas, I can still wear my shoes. That's good. That's good. No, I can still wear my shoes. That's for sure. Yeah, I had went from a size 44 to I could actually put on a size 36. Yeah, I can't get a 36 on after Christmas. I've kind of let it go here for a few weeks. I'm actually wearing a size 40s right now. I might could get in a 38, but that'd be tight. Not a 36. My dog is the biggest sweetheart. That's good, Perry. That's good. Dogs are sweet. So a lot of them are. The guys, but the key thing is have a way to bug out if you bug out. What I said, I'm thinking of inventing. If I can find the time, I'd love to come up with a four-wheel, like an electric bike, four-wheel with solar panels. You know, for us old guys, you know, pedaling, it's, you know, we can pedal for a while, but just so far, especially going uphill, it's rough. And if we could have some kind of electric system we can charge, and it's basically like a four-wheel bike with instead of a trailer, make it a van version so that you can lay back in it and sleep. I've seen them when they got camping trailers, but I'd rather do a van version. You know what? Let me show. I think I got a video of the camping trailer. Yeah. Hang on, guys. I'm going to show y'all this. Bada bing, bada bang, 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 bang. Hang on. I got to find my screen here to share from again. Yeah, check this out, guys. This is a video. I made my bike camper electric at 100-kilometer range, no pedaling. This guy can go basically 50 miles, maybe 60 miles without pedaling. I don't know. He's got his foot on. He's got his feet on the pedals here, so I don't know about that. Now, maybe just riding that way. Yeah, I guess he is. But I did see him starting out with it on the pedal a little bit too. So I don't know how non-pedal is. Well, that's a very small container there to sleep in. And you're not going to pull this up a mountain. I'm thinking like a four-wheel version, bigger wheels. It's all one integral piece from where you're sitting and steering, and you can just lay back in it if you need to. That's what I'm really thinking we need. And it needs to be four wheels. That's actually four wheels, but it's two here and two there. And that's not stable. You know, if you got to go up rough terrain, that trailer's popping off probably. So I'm thinking something rougher, tougher that you can get in and go up on a mountain. You ain't going up a mountain with that. You're riding on a paved road. That's a paved road camper. I'm really thinking something more rugged. I think that's what we need for bug out. Something you can get out there and us old guys could get around in. Anyway, necessity is the mother of invention, right, guys? You don't stop the share. Hello. But yeah, that's the kind of things I think they're both electric and pedal those bikes. That's right. That's right. You could do that and use a solar generator for power. Yeah, it's true. That's the whole idea. Is just lay up those solar panels, let it charge up, and then when you're ready to go, how about a horse and buggy? Well, horse and buggy is good, but a buggy is not all that rugged for getting up the side of a mountain. So that looks a whole lot. That looks like a whole lot of work to put your legs through and get your butt a rest. Yeah, New Days, I think you're onto something there. So I said we got to have a better concept. I mean, you can just drive it, and then you can just kick back and lay down in it, let that seat back, and have a bed basically. It's going to have to be. You got to have a screen mesh or something around to keep the skeeters out. That ain't a skeeter-proof system he got there. He's wide open, and he's exposed to the elements, the weather. You know, what I'm thinking of, you'd have like a hood over you, so you would not be so exposed as his system. Electric recumbent trike would be a 3-wheel. It might be a way to go there. Company in Japan built a drone-like vehicle that you can ride like a motorcycle. Yeah, those are expensive though. 200 grand. Yeah, that's outside my budget. I can't afford such things as that. I can't even finance it. No way. Eskimo friends have been out with me. Tundra easier than brush, 2 different terrains, South Central and Upper Tundra. Oh, Don, where are you located there? Tundra, yeah, I've been up in some tundra. Sure have. I did live in Alaska 2 years. I've camped out above the tree lines and some of the mountains up there. John the Spirit. Of course, I was sent up, maneuvers with the military, but I went on my own a couple times, including once with my friend Ed Kikert, who I've had on this channel before. Ed, he's actually in an assisted living home now. Bless his heart. A car for sale for $92K. Oh, that's just a wonderful price. Not me. The most expensive vehicle I got is my bus, and I didn't pay anywhere near that for it. All right, horse and buggy. Well, horse and buggy got its advantages. Alaska, Delta Junction, Willow, Alaska. That's right, Don. Oh, that's where you're at, Don. You're in Delta Junction in Willow. Don, would you look up and see if the Barger Realty Company still exists? I wonder if Jerry Barger's still alive. I'm thinking he probably is not. Jerry Barger was the head of the tech division at Dakota Regions Test Center as a civilian, a DOD civilian. And he also served as the mayor of Delta Junction. His wife ran a realty company. I talked to him several years after I left, but I haven't talked to him the last few years. I don't see any sign that they're still in operation. I hope he's still living. I hope he's still alive. But he worked for Gerald Bull before he went to Alaska. Gerald Bull was the guy who built the gun for Saddam Hussein. But before he did that, what Jerry worked on was a gun called HARP. They took 2 naval cannons and welded them together and basically shot a projectile into space ballistically with a big cannon. So that was a pretty cool project. I'll borrow a neighbor's donkey. There you go, Granny. So Don, maybe you can look into that. See if you can find Jerry Barger. If you did, tell him Greg Allison was asking about him. He probably won't remember me now. I was a soldier, ran a computer system and equipment management branch, but I was in the space and he was in the space. And so he used to come in and sit at my desk and we'd just sit there and chat. And it was after I left Alaska, somebody said, "Did you know Jerry Barger was a millionaire?" And this was back in the early 80s. I was told he was worth $10 million back then. I don't know. Got no idea. Donkey is a weapon. You get that right. Yeah, that's why farmers want donkeys in their field, is they defend cows from coyotes. Because a donkey can kick in any direction. A horse can't do that. But a donkey will go after a coyote and tear him up. I had a husky mix that was a baby, had to do. Huskies are great dogs. I don't know if I'd want to make one suffer by having one down here where it's so darn hot. Loud. It's got to be hot for a donkey, for a husky. Yeah, Gerald Bull was Canadian and Mossad took him out. You're right. But he wound up working, though, for the United States for a while when he did that project, which was called HARP. Not what people call HARP in Alaska, but this project where they welded 2 cannons together. And later, he took a job for Saddam Hussein to build the biggest rifle in the world, biggest cannon. It would have been an intercontinental ballistic cannon. It was huge. It could have shot payloads into space easy. See, in relation to Sonny Barger, I have no idea, Jason. I have no idea. I can't even remember his wife's name now. I used to know it. Barbara. Guys, what I'm talking. I last saw these guys back in 1983, that was a few years ago. That was 40 years ago. Wow. It's been 40 years since I left there. I prefer to have my house fenced with a pit bull guard. There you go. All right. John, find the older dog that could help. Oh, okay. Oh, we got 98 in the room. We're about to jump to Swivelhead News. Did anybody share the YouTube watch World's Flying Car? Okay. Did anybody? We had a request for the inclusion of my Rumble channel. I've actually got 2 Rumble channels. I've got another Rumble channel, Green Graves. All right. Y'all, somebody want to see the Rumble channel. Let me how to put a bovine bull. Oh, bull. I used to ride a bull when I was a kid. We had a big polled Hereford bull. I called him Charlie. That guy had hooves about yay big around. He was huge, humongous. And he was like a pet. He'd come up the fence. I just crawl up on his back, scared my dad to death. My dad, he didn't think the bull would hurt me. He was afraid I'd just fall off and the bull might accidentally step on me. He was so worried about me riding that bull, he actually sold him. He was afraid I was going to get stepped on. Anyway, alrighty, guys, let's look at this. I'm going to try to share a couple things here. Somebody had asked about the Rumble channel. Oh, thank you, New Days. Appreciate that. That's my Rumble channel. Now, can you share our Swivelhead News YouTube? That's where we're going. Swivelhead News on YouTube. I have several rows of barbed wire ready to run on coil. There you go, Jesse. Constantina wire. That's what we called it. All right. New Days saves it. I tell you what, New Days has got some dogs that are about as big as bulls. Yep. That could be. Let's see. Let's share the YouTube Swivelhead News. We're going right there in just a minute. All right. So I can do it here. Mental, please. A yak. Wow, that'd been interesting, Jared. Yaks love cold weather. Excuse me, guys. Oh, thank you, New Days. Just too slow with this. Actually, well, I should say Swivelhead. You can do at Swivelhead News now. Let me see if it comes across that way. Take me a minute. I'm not as fast as New Days. Where is the right page? I'm hunting. I got so many things open. I get confused. I'm going to abbreviate. Swivelhead News, YouTube. Boom. Oh, yeah. So it says, yeah, you can do it at Swivelhead News when it's on YouTube. That's the new deal, the new thing they've added. Don't have Constantina wire, just barbed wire. Yeah, barbed wire, it works. Constantina wire's got a different razor pattern to it. Wild boar in the front yard. That wild boar, if he's wild, yeah, he might be a problem for you. He's wild, he might be a problem child. Alrighty, guys, let's do this. Let's go over to Swivelhead News. I want everybody tonight, though, where you go to bed, say a prayer, Granny Lana and granddaughter Kayla, but say a prayer for New Days. New Days has got some stuff she's going through. She's been a great mod. She is a great mod here on the channel, and she needs our prayers. She has got a situation on her hands. She's got to go through a surgery. Not going. She wants to explain it. She will. I'm not going to say more about it. Just give her your prayers, please. You call your dog rescue and you get a dog you want. Oh. Okay. There you go, guys. All right, guys. I appreciate everybody for being here. Thank y'all for watching. We're going to go Swivelhead News just for a little bit. And then hopefully we might go to Galactic, but I don't know. It's getting late for me. I got to get up early. Wild boar named Fluffy. That don't sound too wild. It might be the wild boar species, but wild boar named Fluffy. Hmm. Yeah, I had a buddy. If he had a cat, he named it Snowball. Every dog was either Brownie or Blackie, and every pig he had was named Arnold. And I bet he still does that to this day. Some 50 years later, warp to the other channel. That's a good idea. Let's go. Let's go. And that's going to take me a couple minutes to get over there, guys. So hang on. Go to Swivelhead News and wait on me. I'll be there in a little bit. You have to hit the refresh page a few times to see when the live chat comes up. You can always eat if you get hungry. Come here, Fluffy. Yum, yum. A way to deal with that is name your pet pork chop or, whatever. Bull bullets, bull butters. Okay. All right, everyone. Thank y'all for watching.